All right, we're in ninth grade lit. We are continuing our study of Inferno, and we are on page 81. And I believe we're further along than anybody else. We're on line 97, so that'd be the top of page 81. I think the last time we did this seems like a long time ago, I guess it was Thursday, but I don't remember. We got a lot done Thursday. And before that, it was Tuesday. So we read Monday and Tuesday. We had the speech on Wednesday. Anybody want to give us a review of what's going on? Anybody remember what's going on? Where is Dante right now? How would you find that out if you didn't know? Yeah, Charlotte. Yeah, so look at it, page 81. It's Good Friday. That tells you when. It doesn't tell you where. So you have to look on the others. He's still in the woods, and Daniel was going to tell us what's going on. What's happening?
I was just saying, right where we finished up, like they were talking about like the three like ladies who like picked him, and it was Beatrice like told Mary Magdalene. I don't know. It was like
Mary, the mother of Jesus.
Yeah, Mary, the mother of Jesus, and then like Lucy. There's like those three ladies that like picked him to go on this journey through hell, and then before this, it had just been like leading up to what's his name, Dante, like going down to hell.
Very good. So the only way he's going to go to hell only way he's going to get to God is to go to hell, purgatory, and paradise, and he can't go by himself. He needs help. That's why Virgil is there. You mentioned the three women. Look at question number 12. It is a triad. It's another triad. We know who Mary is. Do you know why maybe she's important? I mean, Protestants don't consider her as important as Roman Catholics, but why would she be so important? Like, you know who she is, right? The mother. Anyway, I guess that's sort of self-explanatory. She's the mother of Christ, and the Roman Catholics elevate her to a position where you can actually pray to her, I think. But anyway, she's the one who sees Dante. Do you know who Lucy is? Do you know who Lucy is?
No, it's not Lucy.
No, not Lucy. Yeah. Do you know? Okay, turn to page 82. I'm going to tell you. We're not going to be able to do this a lot. I like doing it because this is where you learn so much. Lucia, St. Lucy, you see on page 82, there are notes there. A virgin martyr of the 3rd century is the patron of saints of those with weak eyesight, and chosen here is the image of illuminating grace. Mary, Beatrice, and Lucy, or Lucia, are a threefold image of divine grace in its various manifestations. All right, so why would it be significant that they include a saint who is the patron saint of people who are blind? What do you think of all the saints they could pick? Wow.
Because like the devil, I guess like the devil tried to make us think like blind to sin, try to make us think that sin's like not bad, and like disguise it as something that's good. So maybe they're using her as sort of like one of the ways because like Dante's about to get to hell and like see all these different sins.
So who's the blonde one right here, right now? Who's blind? You said all sinners are blind up to a point, but it's Dante, right? What's he blind to? He doesn't know. He got lost. So you see this imagery of darkness, of being lost, trying to get back to God, who is the light. And so one of the people involved is the patron saint of blindness. I've mentioned it, you're never going to really, no one can accept Christ unless God first regenerates the heart and opens the eyes. So you've got to have which means you've got to understand. So light includes understanding. And then, of course, Beatrice is there. You know why she's there. So at the top of the page, Lonnie, would you start with She Summoned Lucy? That is Mary summoned Lucy, and we'll see how this goes.
She summoned Lucy to her side, and there exhorted her. The faithful Valkyrie leads thee, and I commend him to thy care. Lucy, the foe to every Lucy, ran quickly and came and found me in my place beside ancestral Rachel, crying to me, how now, Beatrice, that's true grace. No help for him who comes, who once died, human words, quitting the common herd to win thy grace. Dost thou not hear his piteous cries, alas? Dost thou not see death grapple him on the river, whose furious rage no ocean can surpass? When I heard that, no living wit was ever so swift to seek his doom or flee his fear as I, from that high resting place
Sever.
to sever and speed me down, trusting my purpose dear to thee, and to thy golden rhetoric which honors thee, and honors all to hear.
Good. And we can just at least read half a page, and I'll stop you if you want to read more. Let me know. So those are the triad, and that's how Beatrice gets involved. Luke, finish the page.
She spoke as she turned from me, the quick tears the leisure of her eyes, which still spurred on my feeling with an eager prick. Therefore I sought thee out, as was her will, and brought thee safe off from the beast of prey, which bared thee from the short road up the hill.
Who's speaking? Who's talking? The I. It says, she spoke, and she turned from me the quick tears. And who's the me? Therefore I sought thee out. Who sought Dante out? Who literally came and found Dante? It was Virgil. So, now, who is the narrator of the book in most cases?
The main character.
Who is that? Dante. So most of the time the I is going to be Dante. But given the context, it could be Virgil, because they talk to each other the whole time. So it's always important when you're reading poetry to figure out who I is. You can keep going.
What ails thee then? Why this dull delay? Why bring so wide a liver to the steed? Why canst thou find no manhood to display? When three such blessed ladies designed to plead, they cause at the supreme size of right. When my words promise thee such good speed, as little flowers which all the frosty night pinched and dropping, lift their stalks and fan their blossoms out, touched by the warm white light. So did my faint powers, and therewith ran such good and strong courage around about my heart that I spoke boldly out like a free man.
Okay, why were these three women involved anyway? Why is he telling this story? Okay, they noticed that Dante, they initiated it, but why is Virgil telling him this? Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to go to hell.
Right.
He's like, yeah, let's just not. And then Virgil's like, but these three ladies.
Right. It's to encourage him, because remember the canto started with him saying, let's think about this. Am I really the guy that you want to go to hell with? I'm not sure I'm the guy. And so now this is to encourage him. And if you would read that, we'll go to Carter.
Oh, blessed is she that stooped to take my part, of courteous doubt, to obey her true discerning speech, and thus prompt me to my rescue start. Fired by the words, my spirit now is burning, so to go on, and this venture through, I find my former stout resolve returning. Forward henceforth, there's but one will for two, thou master, and thou leader, and thou Lord. I spoke, he moved, so setting out anew, I entered on that savage path.
You remember when we read Beowulf long ago, about 3 years ago? Remember, it feels like. Remember I told you to circle every time you saw God? And we said, we were told anyway, that about 90 times God was mentioned in some fashion. And remember, the book was about 100 pages long, so we said about one time per page. So here's your challenge as we read this. To find triads. Did you see one? It's not a triad of things, but it's a triad of comments, yeah.
Master, leader, Lord.
Right, it's a balanced line of poetry, and it's three things. So if you circle it, when you see it, it just, I don't know, it's just something to look for as you read this. So we're finished, we're moving right along. Just got 32 more to go, yeah.
What question are we on?
We're on number 13, or will be on number 13. We just finished 12.
Okay.
All right, so here's our second sketch, and you see Upper Hill, and you see the, can you see right where it says Upper Hill, can you see the gate of hell? That's where they're gonna enter hell, through that gate, and around it are the woods, and so he's gonna go into the inner gate, or that gate, and go into the vestibule of hell. The first section of hell is the vestibule. It's not called a circle, because you're not really in hell yet. You gotta get across the river Acheron to be in hell proper. This is the vestibule. This is the lobby of hell. But there are people here, and they are being punished. So, Aiden, would you read the story, and we'll go to Libby, and Libby can read to us the text. Again, notice at the top of the page, it's Hell's Gate, Upper Hell, Good Friday, about 7 p.m. Again, 24 hours has gone by since we saw when the first book opened on Monday, Thursday night, and he spent all day trying to get up the hill, and now as he goes into hell, it's nighttime, which is an appropriate time to go to hell, right? Because it's dark and scary and so forth. All right, Aiden.
Arriving at the gate of hell, the poets read the inscription upon its lintel. They enter and find themselves in the vestibule of hell, where the futile run perpetually after a whirling standard, passing quickly on. They reach the river of Acheron. Here the souls of all the damned come at death to be ferried across the Sharon. Who refuses to take the living body of Dante till Virgil silences him with the word of the power. While they are watching the departure of a boatload of souls, the river banks are shaken by an earthquake so violent that Dante swoons away.
All right, so we'll go to Libby.
Throw me the road to the city of desolation. Throw me the road to sorrows, to die eternal. Throw me the road among the lost creation.
What does thou eternal mean? We went over it Thursday.
It has like two meanings.
It does, but we talked about one meaning. It says, she said, the road to sorrows diuturnal.
Forever.
Say that again?
Forever.
Forever, everlasting. Okay.
Justice moved my great maker, God eternal, brought me the power of the unsearchably high wisdom, and the primal love supernal.
What's supernal mean? No?
I know.
I just thought it might be occasionally nice to see where you've learned new words, actually now see them in context. They're actually useful here. Yeah,
Heavenly, exalted, or love.
right. Almost supernatural, you might say. You can go ahead, Liv.
Nothing ere I was made was made to be. Save things eternity, and I eternity divide. Lay down all hope, you that go and deny me.
And that's the inscription of hell over the gate of hell. So that's what they've put at the top of it. You can keep reading.
These words of somber color I described right on the lintel of the gateway. Sir, this sentence is right hard for me, I cried, and like a man of quick discernment, here lay down all thy distrust and sit. Reject death from within thee tower fear. We've reached the place I told thee to expect, where thou shouldst see the miserable race, those who have lost the good of intellect. He laid his hand on mine, and with a face so joyous that it comforted my quailing, into the hidden things he led my ways. Here was next.
That's good, thank you. All right, so look at the first question, 13. He said that here, in line 18, says, here are those who have lost the good of intellect. What does he mean by that? Yeah.
Does it mean that even though you're like super smart, it has nothing to do with anything here because you've already lost like all your rights?
So what's the most important thing that you can use your intellect for? What's the most important thing to know? Well, look at the verse.
The knowledge of God.
The knowledge of God, to use your intellect. The heart's also part of the intellect, but it's like the emotions and the will. So you can see lots of smart people, smarter than me, probably smarter than you, but it's not going to do them any good if they go to hell, because the intellect was made by God for the knowledge of God. So that's why the verse that we do every Monday, or the Bible, that would be first. It's the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Yeah. Yeah, that's the first thing. They have intellect, but what good is it if it's not starts with the knowledge of God? Did I tell you? I've told you this story. Look at the last line of the sign above the gate. Lay down all hope, you that go in by me. And another way to put that is abandon all hope, all ye who enter here. I've told you this story, right? Several years ago, the junior or the ninth graders became seniors, and the seniors paint the rock, and the rock used to be at this entrance here. I only had the one entrance, I think, but anyway, it's at this entrance right here. And so one night they painted the rock white or whatever color, and then they wrote this on the rock as people pulled in the school that next day: abandon all hope, all ye who enter here. And if you're not laughing at that, you don't understand. That's not the motto we want to portray. I mean, do we want people to hear that when they abandon all hope? Hey, there's no hope here. They were required to paint it the next day, but I thought it was pretty cool. They remember that from ninth grade year, and I don't know what their purpose was, but that is a very classical thing to do. So that's sort of the famous line in that inscription. So we are moving on, top of the page. Oh, what's the first thing? They're in hell, or they're sort of in hell. What's the first thing Dante notices about hell? Yeah.
You could hear wailing.
It's the sound of hell. It's not the smell of hell. It's not the sight of hell, or how it makes you feel or taste. But it's the sound of hell is the first thing. And there is wailing and there's lamentation. The question would be, what are they upset about? Well, they're in hell, that right? But I personally believe that people in hell don't regret their sin, because that was only possible while you were alive. After you're dead, regretting your sin is worthless, useless. And so it's like people chose to be here, they just don't like to hurt. You know, I chose this, but I still don't like to hurt. Anyway, the sound of hell, Charlotte.
Only yet committed horrible accusation, shrill shrieks, worse groans, fierce yells, and hideous blood, and clapping of hands thereto, without cessation, made tumult through the timeless night, that hither and hither drives in dizzying circles sped, and whirlwind with the spinning sands together. Whereat with horror flopping round my head, Master, what's this I hear? Who can they be, these people so distraught of grief? I said, and he replied, the dismissal company of wretched spirits thus find
Good.
do whose lives knew neither praise nor infamy. They're mingled with that
Cative.
angled crew who against God rebelled not, nor to him faithful, but to self-will and mature.
Okay, that was angel. I'm not sure what you said, but anyways, they're angels, go ahead.
Heaven cast them forth, their presence there within. The light deep, hell rejects their base of earth. These sin should boast itself because of them.
All right, that's part of it. Okay, so what does he see? Now that he's in hell, or not in hell, he's in the vestibule of hell, but what does he see? He heard them yelling and wailing, but what does he see? Yeah.
I don't know the answer, but did you say it says angel?
Yes.
Mine says angel.
Yeah, that's what mine says.
How do you spell it?
A-N-G-L-E.
Okay. Anybody want to look that up? Anybody got a
So,
dictionary?
another word for
How would you spell angel?
A-N-G-E-L.
That's how mine's spelled, A-N-G-E-L.
Mine is A-N-G-L-E.
Are you sure? I got this, that's a misprint. I got the same book, I don't know. They're not angels in heaven, they're angels. Well, they're not in heaven, so who is in hell? What kind of angels are in hell? They're demons, that's who demons are. How many are there, by the way? I can't give you a number, but can you give me, what? I'm sorry.
A third of the original.
All right, so by the way, it's a finite number. They're not reproducing or anything. So you got 2/3 of the angels are the good guys, and 1/3 are the demons. So demons are angels. Isn't that interesting? How they would misspell it. All right, so they're angels. What are they doing? Look at line 28. Well, let me start at line 27. Without cessation made tumult through the timeless night, that hither and thither drives in dizzying circles sped, as whirlwind whips the spinning sands together. Can you picture that at all? Yeah.
What's tumult?
Tumult is a loud, it's usually loud, chaotic singing. It involves sound too. All right, so what is the shape of hell?
Circle.
So it's basically a circle. And so everything is done within a circle. So he sees they're mingled, these are people mingled with angels that are being blown about. No, I'm sorry. I get these two confused. They're running. They're continually running. Some people would say cross country would be hell. I actually like distance running, but if you don't like it, then it's terrible. I actually enjoy it. But that's what they're doing. They're running in circles like this. You ever seen a track meet? People literally are running in circles. Again, I love that too. I did that in high school. So they are running, but that's not all. Okay, so there's one other thing. As we read through here, you're going to have to figure out who are the people in hell, like the particular section of hell. Why are they, what are they being punished for, and how are they being punished? So there are three things. Who are they? Why are they being, what's the punishment or for? You know, what's the sin they've committed? And how are they being punished? So part of their punishment is having to run forever. Yeah.
They're people who never knew praise nor infamy.
You're right. What does that mean?
They lived like a really average life, and they never really they didn't know the knowledge of God, but they weren't bad people either. They just weren't meh.
They just what?
They were just meh.
Yeah, so if you can understand that, it's like the people in this part of hell are people that made no decision whatsoever about anything. They were people that were always on the fence. They were people that never spoke up. They were people that never felt strongly about things. They would do, like you say, they were just kind of always on the fence. You know what that expression means? Okay. So they were people that refused to make it. They were neutral. And you see where neutral got them. According to the church, you can go to hell for being neutral. fact, everybody goes to hell for rejecting Christ. But their particular sin is they did not only rejected Christ, they rejected everything. Nothing mattered to them. They were always just do your thing. Don't take a position on anything. But that's not all. And we're going to go to, right? Would you go to Sean, or did you read? Okay, I'm sorry. You hadn't read it. But then on.
Then I, but Master, by what torment spurred are they driven on to vent such bitter breath?
Okay, why are they running? I mean, can you force somebody to run if they don't want to? Well, in this case, they do.
He answered, I will tell thee in a word. This dreary huddle has no hope of death, yet it bit blind life trails on so low and fast that every other fate it envied. No reputation in the world has mercy and doom hold it alike in scorn. Let us not speak of thee, but look and pass. So I beheld, and lo, an ensign borne, whirling, that span and ran, as in disdain of any rest. And there the forlorn rushed after it in such an endless train, it never would have entered in my head. There were so many men whom death had slain, and when I noted here and there a shade whose face I knew, I saw and recognized the coward spirit of the man who made the great refusal.
I appreciate the way you read that. You didn't stop at the bottom of the page. There was no punctuation. You read very good. So how are they being? No, we still got to read. We're still not completely finished. Did you want to say something?
No, I was gonna say who we saw, but I'm gonna go finish right now.
All right, let's read. Sean's going to read again, just half the page here, and that proof sufficed.
And that proof sufficed. Here was that rabble, here without a doubt, whom God and whom his enemies despised. This scum who never lived now fled about naked and goaded from a swarm of fierce hornets and wasps stung all the wretched rout, until their cheeks ran blood, whose slubbered smears mingled with grime around their footsteps fell, where loathly worms licked up their blood and tears. Then I peered on ahead and soon quite well made out the hither bank of a wide stream, where stood much people. Sir, and I, pray tell, who these, what their custom, why they seem so eager to pass over and be gone. If I may trust my sight in this place, pale gleam, and he to me, the whole shall be made known. Only have patience till we stay our feet, and on yonder sorrowful shore of Akron.
Thank you. You can stop there. So what is the punishment? Yeah.
They have to run away from these hornets and wasps who are stinging them if they slow down. And then once if you get stung, they bleed on the ground, and there's gross worms in the ground.
Yeah. Who Lothy licked up the blood and tears. So very creative and disgusting. So they're running. What are they running toward? Yeah.
This bank.
They're running, there's a bank there of a river. The river is Akron, but these people will never get across the bank because they're being punished for not making decisions. And so they're chasing an ensign. You know what an ensign is? E-N-S-I-G-N. It's a flag. And what do you think the flag may represent? That they're chasing something they can't get. What did they do in this world, Daniel?
Didn't make decisions.
They were on the fence. They didn't chase anything. So now they're chasing a flag. Most flags have meaning behind them, right? Most flags, it stands for something. And so it suggests something that you believe in. Well, they didn't believe in anything. They just lived. But because they didn't believe in anything, they really didn't live either. So they're being stung, they're running, the worms lick, and they're chasing this banner. There's a lot going on there. And you understand who they are. They're fence sitters. They're people that would never make a decision. Leroy. Abashed, I dropped my eyes, line 79.
Abashed, I dropped my eyes, lest unmeet chatter should vex him. Held my tongue, and so paced on with him, in silence and discreet, to the riverside. When from the far bank, a boat shot forth, whose white-haired boatman, old, bald as he came. Woe to the wicked, woe! Never you hope to look on heaven. Behold, I come to ferry you hence across the tide to endless night, fierce fires and shrieking cold. And thou, the living man there, stand aside from these who are dead. I budged not, but abode, so when he saw me hold my ground, he cried. Away with thee, for by another road and other ferries thou shalt make the shore. Not here, a lighter skiff must bear thy load. Then said my guide,
Kara.
Why wilt thou roar and chafe in vain? Thus it is willed, where power and will are one. Enough, ask no more.
All right, so why won't Karen, and this is the Akron, there are 5 rivers in hell. This is the first one. You have to cross it. The ferryman is Akron, and it goes back and forth constantly. So why won't he let Dante cross? Yes. Because he's alive. He's a human. And he won't let him come, because the only people that can cross into hell are dead people. What does Dante, or Virgil rather, say to him? And it works. What are his words? Look at it. Karen, why wilt thou roar and chafe in vain? What does that mean? In vain. Yeah.
Without purpose?
Without success, hopelessly. Thus it is willed where power and will are one. Enough. Ask thou no more. We call this a word of power, if you want to write that. That's what she calls it. Dorothy Sayers, a word of power. Where is the only place that power and will are one? In other words, whatever this person says is going to happen. Who's the only person in existence you can say that about? God. Have you ever thought of that? Everything God wants, God gets. Everything. With no exception. He can never be thwarted. He can never be defeated. He gets everything he wants. You want to read a little bit, Daniel? We'll have a couple of minutes.
This shut the shaggy mouth of that sour, infernal ferryman of the livid wash. Only his flame-ring eyeballs roll to glower. For those outwearied, naked souls, how gash and pale they grew, chattering their teeth for dread. When first they felt his harsh tongue's cruel lash. God they blasphemy.
They blaspheme.
Blaspheme. Their parents, the human race, the place, the time, the blood, the seed that got them, and the womb that bred. Then hunger mother, down they scud, dismally wailing to the accused strand, which waits for every man that fears not God.
All right, why don't we stop there? What are they doing? You think they'd learned their lesson? Who are they blaspheming? They're blaspheming God. They're not saying they're sorry. They're just cursing God for sending them here. So we'll have to start it there tomorrow. We're already, this is the 3rd canto. We're already almost at the 4th canto, and we've been through the first section of hell.